So the Office app for iPad has just been kind of released, I suppose, but taking in all of the functionality of the iPad. So I thought it'd be quite useful just to jump in and show the features you may be familiar with, but there's one specific feature in here that I really wanted to kind of focus on in this video. So let's jump in and just have a quick overview of what you can do. So you'll notice straight away that the familiar kind of interface that if you're used to using Office apps on your iPad, you'll see. If I go into Home, I can see all of my recent files, etc. But this is all of the files, so it's not within one app, it's all PDFs and PowerPoints, etc. If I go to the Actions section, there's lots of things in here that you can do. This is a really nice feature if you've not seen it before, transferring files. If I go into this, you'll see that you just need to type in this web address on your PC. If you're working on a PC but you've got an iPad, it just allows you to be able to use the functions that you would benefit from if you were using the Apple ecosystem of just doing AirDrop, etc. It's just going to connect my devices together so I can quickly send and receive those documents. Then we have kind of those familiar things that you'll be used to using again within Office's kind of applications, being able to create PDFs, scan PDFs, turn pictures into PDFs, PDFs to Word, etc. So lots and lots of functions within here around grabbing text from images and tables, etc. And then down the bottom, you've also got this ability to use it as a QR scanner or quickly create a form. Now, before I jump into this one, because this is the one I really want to have a look at today, also just useful to know that within the plus here, you can start your quick notes, quick access to the lens. And then within Word, you can, again, scan text, so similar to over here, start new documents, Excel, scan table, so again, similar to here. And then with PowerPoint, again, choose pictures to start your presentation. But the one I really wanted to have a look at, which I think is a really neat feature, and especially in the current climate of people doing online teaching and support and creating videos, etc., is this ability to use this rehearse with Coach. Now I'm going to jump into this and just choose a deck that I might be using recently. And you see it's just going to start straight away. So welcome to this session. We're going to be looking at assessment and feedback and really thinking about how we can redefine our approaches and access. My name is Matt Pullen and I am a professional learning specialist for Apple. Now, when we start to think about the colleges of the future, we might be thinking about blah, 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 blah. Right, okay, so you can carry on talking as much as you need to talk through your whole presentation. When I'm done, I tap on stop. I'm just going to give you that option to say, are you sure you want to end, or are you just kind of having a pause? I'm actually happy to end, even though the end part of what I was talking about doesn't actually make sense as part of the presentation. But I'm going to tap on end session. And you'll see that then generates all of this data for you to start to think about. It's a really great touch if you're not used to public speaking or recording yourself doing presentations, etc. So I've got quite a nice high score in terms of my summary, 140 words per minute, which is obviously probably within the good band here, not too fast, not too slow. Pace was kind of along the right line, kind of went off a little bit towards the end when I wasn't really saying anything. And this kind of idea of it picks up filler words, the ums and ahs, etc. Or you might have a specific word that you tend to use a lot of the time when you're pausing for things. I think mine used to be right all the time. So, and then anything in terms of sensitive phrases. So, is there something that you're using there that is stopping other people being able to access what you're talking about? So it's just a huge amount of data really to really help you practice with having that monotone voice that might come across when you're doing presentations. And again, that really highlights down here this idea of engagement and making sure that you're not just reading what's on the screen, because that's very like this and it's not engaging. So again, really useful. So definitely something I would recommend. At the end, obviously, you tap done and you can go back and go back to the main screen. So nothing's going to be saved there or anything. It's just really there for you to practice. So definitely something I would urge you to use. Definitely, for me, an absolute killer feature of having this on my iPad, because I can just practice these as many times as I need. So there we go. Office on the iPad. All of those familiar features that you'll be really used to using, certainly if you had this on your iPhone for a long period of time. bringing together just some of the functionality that you would have on the individual apps on your device, but definitely this killer feature around Rehearse with Coach, just to help you practice that public speaking or recording a presentation and making sure that your voice comes across so the audience are engaged.